Welcome to IS460 and 560. I'm Professor Fahmi Jalani. Today we'll be taking a look at Chapter 8, which is Cost Estimation and Budgeting. So, like you all know, starting a project will require cost and finishing it. So what are the common costs that's usually consists in a project? So we have labor, which is technically staff, could be in form of salary or ad hoc, for example, or freelance, for example, or contract basis. Material, including the PC or laptop, and it could be certain software or even hardware, if you are building a construction, for example, or it could be food if, let's say, you are in the restaurant business, for example. I did mention about subcontracting. This is basically to outsource certain jobs. In this case, one example is, for example, iPhone subcontracting their manufacturing to China, for example. Also some cost, equipment, facilities, in this case, when you have in-house, for example, engineering work, okay, things like drilling, welding, so the utilities, okay, facilities and space you are renting, and also not forgetting travel. Okay, there are times where you need to travel for meetings, meeting the clients, or getting the product, and also maybe meeting the subcontractor too. So in terms of cost, there are sometimes direct and indirect, for example, types. So it could be, for example, material or building or labor, which is sometimes categorized as direct or indirect. Sometimes when a project is being outsourced, the cost is indirectly billed to you by the subcontractor, for example. Recurring could be renting the space, another office space. Okay. Fixed, variable, fixed could be the lease of the building. Okay. Normal, expedited. Okay. When you do a certain project, you will need hardware, for example, or software. So if for normal delivery be quite cheaper than express delivery, that's where expedite. Okay. So here are some cost classification. Okay, in terms of example, labors, building lease, expedite, material. Okay, is it direct or indirect? Okay, recurring or not recurring, fixed, variable, okay, normal or expedited. So moving along, we have cost estimation. Usually in a project, okay, you will estimate how much the cost will be. Okay, in terms of ballpark, which could be a rough figure, would be plus minus 30%. Okay, for example, if you know that the project would be $1 million, you plus another 30% or minus. Okay. Comparative, if the project has been done earlier, okay, and taking into account inflation, things like that, you have numbers that you can reference to, comparative plus or minus 15%. Feasibility, okay, plus or minus 10%. this is usually after much experience, then you have visibility plus minus 10%. Definite is when you are confirmed that that's the cost going to be. So basically it's a learning curve for most of us, even though you are an experienced project manager. Okay. So how do we calculate it? If you look at the formula here, so here they mention doubling of output result in a reduction in time to perform the last iteration. Okay. So in order to get the output, okay, so you need the initial unit of the output, okay, which is for example the pass unit, for example, times the number of unit to be produced, and this is basically to the power or log to the power, okay, the learning curve, right? This is basically for FYI, for your info. So what the problem in cost estimation? Usually if you don't have much experience, it will be a low estimate. Okay, usually you will have a low estimation. For example, rather than being 10,000 project, you might quote 6,000. So that's the problem. See, unexpected difficulty, technical difficulty. For example, when you are doing coding and then you are stuck, and sometimes you are lost, and you don't know what to do. Okay, because you might need a new requirement, or you don't have the expertise. Lack of definition. Okay, project manager do not know what is the output or the objective, the real objective. There's no transparency to the staff. Okay, simple thing, even what's the background color, for example. Okay, specification changes. Okay, one of the bad things is to keep changing the specification or the output. Okay, that usually happens, and usually a good project manager will put it in writing, and each time there is changes, for example the project is from a customer, they will put in more cost. Okay, and external factor. Okay, could be individual not turning up for work, could be the weather, okay, could be all supply or funding, things like that. In creating a project budget, okay, take a look at here. This is basically the triangle. So we have resources, goal, okay, schedule that allow a firm to achieve those goals. Okay, we have WBS, scheduling, and budgeting. Okay. So activity-based costing. So here a few things to take note. Assign costing. Okay, most budgeting, most project manager will assign a cost to every project. They will divide, and there is a tolerance, plus or minus percentage. Next, identify what's the cost driver. It could be the rent, it could be the staff, the labor, for example. Okay, could be the hardware, things like that. Maybe you have to rent a hardware or tool. Okay, so when you compute the cost rate, okay, and multiply the driver rate times the volume. Okay. Lastly is budget contingency. So in in any project, you must have some reserve, just in case there is some hiccups in the project or any problems that you encounter. Okay, and even for example, renovating a house, you might see certain things that is not feasible, and that's how you use your reserve, for example. And this is duly part for changes in the project. Okay, uh, Murphy's law states that, I think you all know this, hardware or electronics or electrical products last for 18 months, and if the project is stretched more than that, you need to upgrade or update. Okay. Cost, cost interaction. Okay. So there is no perfect situation for a project. So that's pretty much it for the class today. If you have any question, please feel free to email me. Stay safe. Thanks.